we were at my house. Now, we have to go back to December or November to start this story because the story happened around February, March.
Mhm.
It was before Easter. I know that. After Valentine's Day, before Easter, because I bought Kayla a lovely Valentine's Day gift. And sweetie, sugar, if you're listening, make sure you get out of that house and get free. You've got so much more to offer the world, sweetness. All right? Love you too.
Did he get April a Valentine's Day gift?
No.
What a prick.
What a fucking asshole. I got Kayla Star Trek action figures.
Which ones?
I got a con and then some black dude, I don't know. But I knew she'd know. Yeah, it was a Drew Hill collection. No, it was some Star Trek action figures and then some snacks that she likes for her snack drawer next to her bed. And for her birthday, she likes like charcuterie snacks and things like that. So I thought, you know what, Kay, sweetie pie, love of my life, gorgeous. I said, wouldn't it be nice to have something to keep all your snacks cool next to your bed? So you can have them there. Yeah, I bought her a nice, old-timey looking 50s Frigidaire refrigerator and freezer for her bedroom. You know, the retro-looking ones? Oh,
yeah.
What a gentleman.
Were you trying to steal her to be your own wife? Would you feel like that was your mentality?
Was I trying to steal her?
Not steal, but
no.
Make her fall in love and then make her leave. And then you were, from everything that you're saying, it sounds like you were trying a little bit.
I mean, I'm fucking with Nick a little too. But I mean, really,
yeah.
I wanted to get her the fuck out of there. I don't know if
and be with her. And be with her.
We're a little bit sidetracked, but let's go back to the story where you wanted to beat his
real quick. I'll answer that question by saying this. Realistically, there's no fucking way her and I could be together. Okay. She's got 5. I've got 3. Well, I'd blow my fucking
head. Would you be willing to step up?
I wanted to get her the fuck out of that house.
Let's say Rekieta goes to prison and she gets off. Would you be willing to step up and help raise the 5 kids? You can't.
I can't get involved with that world anymore.
You wish you could.
Brother, I've made too many promises to too many people who have helped pick me up off the floor from this thing, who would dump me in a heartbeat, drop me
Fair
flat.
Enough. But at that time, you would have. At that time, you would have, right?
At that time, I would have jumped in front of traffic for this one.
There we go. That's what I wanted to
her. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
Let's finish that story.
Back to the story where you're going to beat his ass or whatever.
So the first time they came over, one of the first times they came over to our house, we're standing in the kitchen. And I'm already not comfortable with the cocaine thing. If I would have known when we started how into blow Nick Rekieta and everyone were, I wouldn't have done this because I had no idea. But he takes the little bullet, the little container of cocaine out of his pocket, puts a little line down for himself on my kitchen counter and just takes it up. And I look at him and I go, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, what? I go, I got 3 fucking kids and an ex-wife who, if she found a speck of that shit in my home, my kids would be gone fucking tomorrow. Don't ever bring that shit into my house again. Okay, I understand. Yeah, I get it. No, I'm a lawyer. I get that.
I'm a lawyer?
So,
sorry, that's funny. Okay, good.
I mean, did a great job of showing up for traffic court, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thanks. My state farm bill fucking appreciates it. But, so then fast forward a couple months later. I'm walking around downstairs. My kids are there. No Rekieta kids are there. My children are there.
Uh-oh.
And I'm just walking around checking on them. What are you doing? All this stuff. I think I had made waffles that morning and I was cleaning up from making the waffle. I hear Nick yell, April, we made one for you. And it was coming from upstairs. And I'm like, well, I know they ain't making fucking muffins and shit. And I walk upstairs. You know that feeling you get where you go, don't be right. Don't be right.
Yeah.
Don't be right.
I hope I'm wrong. Please.
I'm walking upstairs and I see the mini safe that I know the cops eventually confiscated one day open on my bedroom bathroom counter full of drugs. I didn't yell at Nick and Kayla right then and there. The kids were downstairs. I didn't want to cause a scene. I walked down the stairs. I go, April, could you come into the kitchen, please? April comes into the kitchen. I'm irate. I go, I told them to never bring any fucking drugs into this house, and they have the entire container full of fucking coke, and they said they just made one for you, so you had to know this was going on. And she looks at me, she goes, oh, I had no idea, but you're right. That's bad. I'll go talk to them.
They brought
Not
it safe?
angry, not irate, not, hey, my 3 stepkids, who I claim to love more than life itself. Not like, get the fuck out of here, you lunatics. It was, oh, I will go talk to them. Like she was HR, going to discipline someone for smelling a lady's chair or something. So she does that. I'm fucking losing my mind. I go downstairs to be away from everybody. And to come and console me from how angry I am, who do you think would come down to talk to me about this?
Kayla.
Oh, see, I would think my wife would come down to console me and talk to me about this and figure out what was going on. But yes.
Yeah.
Well, after seeing the whole story, yes.
Yeah.
The dear, sweet, lovely Kayla came down, tears in her eyes. I'm so sorry. This is wrong. I apologize. I forgot. We're so sorry. You asked us not to, and we didn't respect that, and blah, 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 blah. Made me feel better a little. And I'm like, okay, you know what? We'll continue on with our day. I go, but that fucking happens again. I'm out of here. Now, in that moment, I should have been done. It should have been it. Before anyone goes, oh, Aaron's just a rat who thinks he's a saint. No, I fucked up. I failed in that moment right there. But then I go upstairs into the middle floor. I go to check on my youngest, the 4-year-old. And by the way, before anyone goes, should you really be telling these stories? My ex-wife has been such a fucking trooper. I've talked to her about I've come clean to her about everything. She's been great. She's just glad that I got our children out of there and everything else. I go up to the 4-year-old to check on her, and I see a navy blue container right next to her. And I pick it up, and in my head, I'm just going, it's Bubbles. It's Bubbles. It's got to be Bubbles. The kids are playing with Bubbles or something. No. I walk towards the kitchen. I start unscrewing the lid, and I'm audibly out loud saying, no, don't. Full of cocaine.
It was the bullet, right?
It was the bullet.
He left it in the couch.
He was sitting on the couch watching something.
On
and
purpose?
It just sat there. No, it just fell out of his pocket and sat there next to my fucking 4-year-old after I'd asked him not to bring this shit into my house. So didn't respect. By the way, this is why fuck this guy. Bury him under the jail.
Wait, it was next to your kid?
Respect me a fucking wink. Didn't bat an eye. What's that, Andy?
It was next to your kid?
It was next to my 4-year-old.
Oh my God. It's over.
I yelled for April to come down. I said, April, and I just held it out like this. And she goes, oh my God. I go, yeah. Oh my God. Everybody out now. And I give it to her. She runs it up. I send a text to her. I go, I want everyone out of the fucking house. I could not be more upset. And
yeah, so
I go out to the garage. It's Minnesota. It's chilly. And I'm sitting there. I got a blanket on because I'm just thinking, like, how do I not go and kill Nick Rekieta? Like, how do I not fucking beat this guy within an inch of his life? I'm not going to make a scene in front of my kids. But the animalistic part of me was like, just pummel him. Just beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Kayla comes out to the garage. Again, tears in her eyes. And I said, Kayla, this is it. Like, it's got to be that shit or me. Like, I'm out of here. She goes, no, you're right. It has to stop. It's done now. We have to cut it out. We have to be done. It's got to be over. This is too much. We could have killed one of the kids, blah, 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 blah. Yes, wonderful. Thank you. April goes upstairs to be with Nick to make sure poor Nicky's okay because he feels so bad about almost killing a 4-year-old. Kayla and I sit there playing board games with the kids the rest of the afternoon until they have to leave. April never once comes down to say a word. I go up to say goodbye to April. Nick and Kayla have left for a little while. I go upstairs to tell April I'm taking the kids. She's sitting in the shower sobbing. Somehow, this has all become my fault because I was mean to her and I told her to leave the house. And how dare you do that? And Nick's really sorry, And I went, you're going to fucking make excuses for him after all this shit. Took the kids back. The rest of that whole night is a blur because it was a disaster. It was filled with fights and screaming and yelling. I know Kayla threw a fucking drink, an iced tea from Popeyes in Nick's face. I know that Nick started hitting himself again like a fucking ape. Oh, I got to tell you the baseball bat story too.
Go ahead.
That was the bullet. That was the bullet story.
Tell us the baseball bat story.
The baseball bat story.
We're out one night. This is where I got to be like Sting. This is exciting.
Okay.
We're out one night. we're coming back. And it's pretty well understood that Kayla and I are going to go upstairs when we get back. Nick and April can do whatever it is they do. But Nick has this weird thing where he wants Kayla to say it. Like he's texting her, what do you want to do when we get back? It's already been established what's going to happen, like what's going on. And Kayla's like, oh, you know, we're going to go hang out upstairs. Who's we're? You mean me or you mean Aaron? And she's like, well, and then it starts this big fight. They start fighting about it via text.
No.
Because he wanted for some, I don't know if it's a sick, weird thing that he's got where she needs to say that she wants to fuck me. I don't know what it is. But it ends with April and I are upstairs and we hear shouting in our front yard, which is fucking embarrassing. You don't want your neighbors hearing a fucking domestic in your front yard. So April and I go out there and Nick is yelling at Kayla going, hit me, fucking hit me, fucking hit me, fucking hit me. He's screaming fucking hit me at Kayla.
Yeah.
And I get Kayla separated from him. April gets Nick separated from Kayla. And I go, hey, get in the fucking house. Enough with yelling. And he looks at me. He goes, Aaron, you better get the fuck away from me right now. Now, I go about 6'4", 215. Nick's about 6'2", 140. I just got right in his face, laughed at him, and I go, you're not going to do shit. And then I walked in the house. He's losing his fucking mind. So then Kayla gets back in the house. He gets back in the house. Boom, they just start into it again. Just yelling at each other, just blah, blah. At one point, Kayla says to him, and I think she did it to trigger him. I don't know if she was being serious or not, but Kayla says to him, every time I've ever had sex with you, I faked it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
To Nick?
Really?
Oh, he lost his shit.
Let's
What did
go.
he say to that?
He fucking lost. What are you fucking talking? He's screaming. He's screeching. Of all the things I've ever heard anyone criticize Nick over, questioning his sexual prowess set him off more than anything else. You could have said he was a cokehead who neglects his kids, and he would have went, well, I've read some articles that say, actually, when you do coke when your kids are around,
better.
He was found out. He never pleased his wife. He was always soft, had to take boner pills.
Well, you used
So
the
what
ball,
you're
though.
saying is it was, in fact, him who had never made his wife come.
I don't know that.
According to her.
Did
Kayla
Kayla say you were better than Nick in bed?
She never said that. The only thing I ever heard was April once said to me that Nick told her, I've never heard Kayla make those noises before. When he was downstairs and they were upstairs, the night he couldn't perform and we were doing Snow Angels, I guess they had to hear us, which I don't take pride in that. That's not good. I feel bad. Like, that's not something you want to hear. That's a terrible thing to have to experience. But April told me after, she goes, yeah, Nick said he's never heard he's never heard Kayla make those noises before. And hey, look, that feels good. That feels good to hear.
Tell us about the Super Bowl story.
No, let's do the baseball bat first.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So they're fighting, and then I mean, different parts out of context. At one point, Nick says to Kayla, I'm sorry, I'm just not a good enough lawyer. It's like, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
What the fuck?
He doesn't practice. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, this is the only way I can make a living for us. She was talking about how much she hates his show. I hate your show. I hate when you do it. I hate what it's done to us, this and that. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not a good enough lawyer. And I'm like, Jesus, fuck. And I'm sitting here, I got a show in the morning. I'm like, guys, I want to fucking go to bed. Jesus Christ. Because April and I are upstairs. April's genuinely concerned. I'm just sitting here going, this is fucking retarded. April and I are 8 years apart. There's a lot of shit that happened where I'm just like, guys, this is embarrassing. We're 40. And April would be like, no, this is serious. We need to talk about it. I've never heard more people reference killing themselves than this group of people when they're high and like drama happens.
Really?
Like, oh my God. April's like, you have no idea when we were getting divorced. I wasn't around the kids anymore, which, by the way, she left the kids without saying goodbye, left me to have that conversation. So fuck you and your attitude towards the kids, using it when it's convenient for you, when you're not, but she goes, I've asked Nick to kill me so many times. It's like, well, then you guys all need to go get help because that's fucking insane.
She's asked Nick to kill her. Wow.
Oh, and then Nick does this motion 5 times a day. when he's fighting with Kayla or he's frustrated about something.
How
I've heard
often does he hit himself in the head like a spastic?
I saw it 3 times. I saw it 3
Just
times.
3 times. Yeah.
That you saw.
So-
yeah.
Amazing.
So now Nick, then they start fighting again. April and I go upstairs. We're like, this is fucking exhausting. I finally hear yelling again. I go downstairs. He has Kayla cornered in our half bathroom in the entry. You know how a house where you'll walk in and there'll be a bathroom right away, just a toilet and a sink right away that people can go into? He's got her in one of those smaller bathrooms, and he's got her up against the corner of it, shouting at her. Now, I'm a big enough dude that I can handle a Nick Rekieta with one arm. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't know what he's on. I don't know what the deal is here. So I go out to the garage and I get a baseball bat. I put it between the two of them. I push him aside and I go, get the fuck back. And Nick goes, fuck. And he walks around the kitchen beating himself in the head. And then April looks at me and she goes, you didn't need to bring that baseball bat in, you know. I'm like, a fucking 6'2" man is standing over a 5'2" woman. She's crying. He's shouting at her in the bathroom. You're right. You know what? I should have broke his fucking ribs with
You
it.
really were the icon Sting, Aaron.
I was Sting. I wanted to play the music.